All right, and I'm going to open the chat for my view. So if anybody has any questions or wants to comment anything, you can't hear me, whatever, I'm going to try and pay attention. Okay. Well, welcome. I'm so excited that I get to be here with you all today and share a little bit about how we can help our bodies be healthier. I just want to start off by saying how I got interested in nutrition and all of that. So when I was probably about 21, I was introduced to nutrition, and actually I've been part of this company as a consumer since 1985. And I have been fairly healthy my whole life, but my mom had cancer when she was 19. So cancer has always been a little bit of a scary thing for me. And then my aunt died of cancer and my grandfather died of cancer. And so I've just had a lot of cancer in my life. So nutrition became really important, like what I'm putting in my body, what I'm not putting in my body, all the things that matter. And about 6 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with a terminal cancer again, and it was a side effect of her previous cancer treatment as well as tanning beds. So she had ocular melanoma. So she had a lot of radiation before, and then she had a tanning bed when she was younger, and never ever put the covers on her eyes. So I think that's part of where it came from. Anyway, 8 doctors all confirmed that had metastasized to her liver, and that was a very untreatable diagnosis. So she came to me and she goes, "What do you know about cancer? What can we do?" So we actually put together a program of, what she was eating, what she was not eating, right? Should have cut out sugar. There was a whole program, intermittent fasting. There was a lot. Anyway, she within 3 months did not have any cancer in her body. And I think it was a whole well-rounded lifestyle change. There's not one thing, and I can't say that we have the cure to cancer, and I'm not saying that, but that is my story. And my mom's healthy now. This is 6 years later. We actually expected her to be gone within 8 or 9 months, back 6 years ago. So she's doing great now. So that's my reason why I share, and because of her complete transformation, I genuinely feel like this is something, if I keep it a secret, I'm actually causing harm to other people by not sharing, because there really are ways that we can help our body to be vibrant and healthy. So okay, I'm going to get started with this little presentation. Feel free to ask questions. I would love to answer questions at the end. Okay, so we have a huge problem. Maybe you've noticed, but people in America are very sick. We are on the state of our health, according to the, whole world, right? The WHO says we are number 35 out of the top healthiest countries in the world. So Spain is the healthiest, Italy is the second healthiest, Iceland is the third, Japan is the fourth. We're 35. That's really low, actually. And that's really surprising considering all the funding that's going into healthcare, right? We're putting so much research into heart, health and cancer research and all these things. Why are we so sick? So chronic disease is heart disease, cancer, respiratory diseases, diabetes is accounts for about 80% of chronic diseases. And according to the WHO, we've gone from 1995, 118 million Americans with chronic disease to 2024, 164 million. So we've jumped quite a bit. This trend is increasing, right? So they're projecting by 2030, there's going to be 171 million Americans suffering from a chronic disease. Okay. Well, I know that so many of us are trying to eat right? We know we got to eat our fruits and vegetables. We know we got to get our protein. We know we we know we need all of these nutrients in our body, probably supplementing. I mean, 80% of people are supplementing, but are we getting what we need? There was a study done with 22,000 people, and they found that not even one of those people got the 10 specific nutrients that are essential to our diet that they were looking for in their diet. Okay, two independent studies showed that the nutrient depletion has gone down from 1950 to 2000. From like vitamin A has gone down 30% from the spinach and apples and all of these fruits and vegetables gone way down. Vitamin C down by 53% just in spinach. In 1950, you could eat one apple for 4.3 milligrams of iron. Today, you need 26 apples to get the same amount of iron. Who's eating 26 apples a day? They used to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now it's 26 apples a day keeps it. In 1980, you could eat one orange for calcium, iron, vitamin A, vitamin C. Now you have to eat 8 in order to get the same nutrient value that you would get back in 1980. So that's a huge drop in our nutrients that we're getting from our food sources because we are depleting the soil, we're spraying all kinds of chemicals. It's just causing, we're killing bugs all around. So it's causing our nutrients to be depleted of the essential nutrients. Okay, so when we know that so many people are supplementing, I want to say, I hear this all the time. People say, oh, I get my vitamins on Amazon or I get them from, wherever, the health food store down the street. There are some red flags to that to me, and here's why. The Consumer Reports reported that the FDA found hidden drugs in nearly 50 supplements sold on Amazon and eBay, and they were named #1 bestseller or Amazon's choice. So some of these had tons of amazing reviews and all this stuff, but unfortunately the FDA found hidden drugs. Some of these hidden drugs can have bad reactions to maybe other medications you're taking, or you could have a pre-existing condition that you can't take. For example, there was a joint supplement that contained an anti-inflammatory drug. Now, anti-inflammatory drugs can cause heart attacks, strokes, bleeding, other side effects. So you might not be able to take anti-inflammatory drugs with certain medications that you're on, but it wasn't on the label. It was tested and found. So this was an omega-3 glucosamine curcumin on the label product, and it had this drug that they didn't disclose. In the Bloomberg News, they reported that they did not find any aloe vera at all in the aloe vera products at Walmart, Target, and CVS. All the time, people tell me, oh yeah, I tried aloe vera, it didn't work. And I go, where did you get your aloe vera from? Because maybe it was some synthetic version. In 68% of pills and powders that were tested by consumerlab.com, they found no authentic elderberry in elderberry products. Instead, they found black rice, other elder spices, and plant extracts. The New York State Attorney General reports GNC, Walmart, Target, Walgreens, herbals do not contain any herbs. Instead, they have powdered rice, beans, peas, wild carrots, and fillers like legumes and grass. So if you're taking an herbal supplement that doesn't actually have those herbs in it, is it going to be effective? Is it going to work? I mean, so many people think, I'm taking this, and it's not really helping. Or they're thinking it's working because it's an anti-inflammatory drug, right? And a joint medication. So it gives you that temporary relief, maybe, and you're like, oh, I feel great. You just took Motrin though. But you thought you were taking something all natural. This one gets me really, really bad every time because There is a company that is all organic and they're advertising all the time. They had this infant probiotic that was on the market. It was being sold for 19 months, and they knew that it had a bad bacteria in it. It was contaminated. And yet they continued to sell it for 19 months. When it was discovered by two other independent labs, they voluntarily recalled it. But to me, I'm thinking of being a mom and I have kids. And if I'm giving them something because they're sick or they need to, they need better gut health or whatever, and I'm giving them something with a bad bacteria, not knowing it, I mean, that is so terrible. These are babies, right? Like, after all. So I've heard other people say, oh, this organic vitamin company, just because it says organic does not necessarily mean that they put, everything that's on the label is in there and that it's clean and safe. Okay. There was a multivitamin study done. They used 21 store-bought vitamins. They were multivitamins. So they tested all of these vitamins to get the best ones to do this study on. They took out 11 because 52% of the ingredients did not match the label. That left them with 10. They took out 3 more because they didn't dissolve it all. So they just went in and out. And so that left him with 7. Took out another one because it contained lead. So that left him with 6 of the best multivitamins they could find in the grocery store or health food store. And they tested it on 2,000 stage 4 cancer patients. What they did was they took 1,000 and gave them a placebo. They took the other 1,000 and they gave them those 6 brands. Scary. This is really scary. In the placebo group, there was no change to their cancer. In the group that got the 6 best brands they could find, there was a 32% increase in cancer. I know a lot of people that have dealt with cancer, a lot, like way too many actually. And they all say the same thing. In my mom's case, same thing. Doctors always say, don't take supplements, don't take vitamins. This is why. This is a legit study. It was done by the US National Cancer Institute. Okay, so why is this important? I wanted to share this because it's really important that we vet the companies where we're buying our vitamins from, right? There's some criteria that we should look at in order to discover whether it's a good company and good products. You cannot trust a label. You just can't, unfortunately. Some have really, and they're, a lot of them are created by the marketing team. And so, everybody knows in the vitamin industry that vitamins can be beneficial and they're very lucrative. And so this is what you want to look for. You want to look for a company that uses whole human foods. Now, you're going to be surprised to hear this, but a lot of companies use duck feathers, pond scum. A lot of companies, I mean, most actually, for pond scum is like a very common ingredient. Tell me, what human do you know that eats algae? We don't eat that. That's not part of our food chain. So it's not what we need, our bodies need to heal themselves. Second thing is it produced with a pharmaceutical license? Now, I want to clarify on that. The pharmaceutical license does not mean that the big pharma is participating in making any supplements, right? It means that FDA checks labeling to contents in the bottle. It's an integrity issue. So, does the company have a pharmaceutical license? The other thing is, has the company done human clinical trials? Can you say that in a clinical study, this supplement is clinically proven to do A, B, or C? Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to say is it published in peer-reviewed publications? And what that means is a scientist will do a study, these human clinical trials, right? And they'll get this result with these, all of these factors, and they'll publish it. And then this other scientist comes along and says, I want to test that and see if I get the same results. If they do, if the same study and they get the same results, it goes into a peer-reviewed publication. So this is like two separate scientists, independent of each other, saying, yep, this is the same exact result. Okay, this is awesome news. We have some incredible peer-reviewed, clinical studied supplements that are filling in the gaps of all those things that we're missing in our diet, right? So I'm going to start off with the first one. We are all deficient in the whole grain fats. So those are called lipids and sterols. What those lipids and sterols do is they help to heal the lining of our cells. So our cells have like this membrane, okay, on the outside. And when it is damaged, it can't absorb nutrients from the food that you're eating or the supplements that you're taking. You're unable to get nutrients in. And then what does get in can often get stuck inside your cells. Waste doesn't get out, it doesn't detoxify, and you can be left feeling lethargic. You can have hormone imbalances. You can have an imbalanced thyroid. You can have, chronic fatigue or sleep problems or mental health issues. There's so many things. Well, in 1950, at the Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital, they did this study where they realized that people were not getting the good fats from whole grains anymore. So they started spoon feeding people these fats and noticed that it increased the nutrient assimilation by 50%. So if food they're eating, any supplements they're getting, it increased the ability to absorb nutrients by 50%. And it increased detoxification by 55%. So as a result, hormones were being balanced, both male and female. The thyroid was getting more balanced. It was supporting adrenals. People got better sleep. People had more energy. It improved mental health. It aided in nerve transmission and brain activity. So these are some super important nutrients that we are all missing unless you're getting this. And I think this company is the only company that has the complete whole grain oils. I'm gonna take a drink, sorry. Neolite protein shake, it's amazing. Okay, the next one that I want to talk about is we have something called a carotenoid complex. You've probably heard of beta carotene. Beta carotene is one of the carotenoid family. And most beta carotene supplements they come from pond scum or algae. And that is actually linked to an increase in cancers. There was a study done by the New England Journal of Medicine in 94 where they showed 29,133 smokers who took a synthetic beta carotene for 10 years, and it actually increased their risk for heart attack by 18% and lung cancer as well. So it actually caused their health to be worse by taking it than if they had not taken anything at all. So what's different about ours, you ask? Ours is we have actually 15 beyond organic fruits and vegetables that we extract our carotenoids from. Our company has found over 600 different carotenoids in the family of carotenoid complex. And these are so essential, right? They say, eat your fruits and vegetables. I bet your mom said that to you at some point in your life, or your grandma or somebody. This is the reason why. So picture, for fruits and vegetables, picture like a tomato. A tomato gets nice and firm and bright from the sun, right? Why does the sun not cause it to deteriorate or wither up? It's because of the carotenoid in that fruit. So Think of your bright orange, yellow, reds, these fruits and vegetables. So we have a product that includes 15 of these fruits and vegetables. And we actually provide the seed to the farmers. They grow our seed. It is never genetically modified. It is never allowed to be sprayed with pesticides or anything like that. So it's like beyond organic. Um, and they do this, then they get their fruits and vegetables back to make their supplements in our own labs. We do this ourselves. And they test every single piece of fruit and vegetable to make sure that it was from the original seed and had not been altered at all. If it doesn't meet their quality expectations, they toss it. They won't use it. Okay, so what is this incredible product good for? We can say in human clinical trials by the USDA researchers that we have a carotenoid that clinically is proven to improve your immune function by 37%. That's awesome. Like, who likes getting sick? Not me. It curbs cell oxidation damage by 44%. Oxidation and inflammation are the two evil twins of aging. When your cells oxidize, they become damaged and they mutate damaged, and what does that turn into? Cancer. It also protects against cholesterol-related disease by up to 500%. Like, I know a lot of people that have had strokes and heart attacks. This is huge. In 20 days, we can say it protects against cholesterol-related heart disease by up to 500% because it doesn't allow your cholesterol to oxidize. So think about that. The cholesterol isn't bad. Your body needs cholesterol, it's fats, right? So it goes through your arteries. If it oxidizes, which can be caused by junk food, fast food, smoking, environmental toxins, all kinds of things, even can be, cleaning products. There's all kinds of things that can expose you to things that would oxidize your cholesterol in your cells. That is the fruits and vegetables prevent it from hardening and turning into a plaque. So it reduces heart disease related cholesterol issues up to 500%. I think that's incredible. I mean, right there, that's like one of my favorite things. Here's what some other side effects to this. It balances overactive immune systems. That's autoimmune diseases, right? Slows aging because it's keeping your arteries healthy, it's preventing oxidation. It can help you avoid colds and flu. If you take 3 a day, I don't think you'll ever get sick. It can lower your risk of abnormal cells. That's a code word for the C word. Can reduce cognitive decline. It's so good for your brain. It can strengthen your vision. And I'll tell you, I've been wearing glasses for like 10 years. The last 2 times I went to the doctor, my prescription got less and less. And now I just started realizing that my vision is better without my glasses than with them on. So I actually don't think I even need them anymore. And I had a pretty strong stigmatism prescription before. So I think it works. I know somebody else who had the same exact doctor's visit where they said it got better. So maybe you could share about that later. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is inflammation. So like I said, oxidation and inflammation are the two evil twins of aging, right? So we all have inflammation in our body. Inflammation causes pain. It can cause heart problems, joint problems. It can affect your brain, mental health. It can affect your vision. It can also affect prostate. So for those of you that have men in your lives, we have this incredible fish oil. It has all 8 omega-3s. Most of us have seen like EPA, DHA, there's another one. There's like most fish oils that I see at the store when I pick up the bottles only have 3 of these omega-3s. Omega-3s are so, so vital to our health, but they're really only effective if you have all 8 of them. So you want a company that wants to include the whole family of that whole food. It's really important not to isolate, little bits and pieces of it. Our body was not designed to process it or use it that way. So what does this fish oil do in clinical studies? It lowered the inflammatory index by 68% in 8 weeks. I personally have swapped out my Advil, what I used to take way back when in my teens, to the omega-3s. So it helps with headaches, it helps with menstrual cramps, helps with all kinds of things. It also is cold extracted from the fillet, which is very important because if it gets heated, it can spoil and it's not going to be as good. And also, we all know that fish often contain contaminants like lead, mercury, right? All these different heavy metals. And our company tests for over 200 contaminants and they have a 0 tolerance. Okay, our clinical studies for our specific product were done in clinical tests by UC Davis and UC Berkeley. So they're very reputable, and sometimes it's the USDA researchers that do them. So we are in lots of different publications, Neolife specifically. We're in the New England Journal of Medicine. We're in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition. We're in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and many more. So the next thing this is the last thing I want to talk about really is protein. We all need protein. We are all deficient in protein, right? We need protein and we need a complete protein. This is really important. So we have one that has all 22 amino acids. Now, protein is made up of amino acids. In order to get all 22 from a piece of chicken, you would need to eat every part of the chicken. You would need to eat all the organs, you would need to eat the eyeballs and all of it in order to get the 22. So when you're eating a piece of chicken, you might get 8 amino acids. We have one that it has all 22. Something else that's unique to ours is it's soaked in an enzyme. And the enzymes are so necessary for digestion. Most protein shakes are very, very hard on your digestive system. In fact, I've seen lots of studies where people and articles where people have ended up in the hospital for taking protein shakes that their bodies were not able to absorb, and they can actually be dangerous. Our company also tests, we don't allow any, BPA, cadmium, lead, which are very common found in other companies. Like Garden of Life raw protein was one of the worst. And so I know a lot of people that have used this had 70%, had lead and cadmium, and 55% had BPA, which is a hormone disruptor. And then same thing with collagen. Organic Consumers Association and Clean Label Project study found 86% of collagen products had heavy metals. 86% that they found, that they tested. And ours, so one of the amino acids is collagen. I get this question all the time. Do you have a collagen supplement? Do you have a collagen supplement? Collagen is one of the amino acids, and yes, it is part of our protein shake. So it also has fiber, which helps the elimination and all the digestive part. And it also has 25 essential vitamins and minerals. It has no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or colors. It doesn't have hydrogenated fats or trans fats, no high fructose corn syrup, no saturated fats, no preservatives, no cholesterol. It's safe for your kidneys. It's gluten-free, 90% lactose-free, and it can help with all sorts of things. It can help boost your immune system. It can help increase your energy and focus, muscle growth and retention, weight loss or weight gain. It can repair rebuilding tissue if you've had some kind of surgery or anything like that. And it's helpful for your digestion. So that's kind of all that's missing in our diet, the main things that we are all deficient in. We have a little packet that has 4 pills in it. It has a multivitamin that has minerals as well as 25 vitamins. It also has the whole grain fats. It has the carotenoid, the fruits and vegetables, and then it has the fish oil. So it's that 4 pills a day. It comes out to about $3 a day. You can take that with the protein. It's called a breakfast pack. It's amazing. You would feel so drastically different when you start taking those together. So that's the main thing. The other thing that I just wanted to mention, cleaning products can be super disruptive to your health. So we do have some coconut-based, totally safe for babies and butterflies and penguins and everything, cleaning products from laundry soap to dish soap to, heavy duty cleaners for around your house. So we have all of that, plus soap for your body and shampoos, conditioners. We have all of that. And it's very, very, very cost effective. So it's not expensive at all and it's clean. So I want to open it up. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to meet you if I've never met you before. And I'd also love to hear what brought you to this meeting. I would love to just kind of connect a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll stop the recording here and then we will do some intros if you want. If you're not comfortable with it, don't worry about it. And also, if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to ask so I can open it up to you can unmute yourselves and all of that. So give me one second, I'm gonna stop recording.